Okay, so on the topic of Buddhism, we have been talking for a while about the really the essence of Buddhism, and I called it Journey to Buddhism, um, trying to give the idea of why I became a Buddhist and things like that. And I thought it was important to discuss the essence of Buddhism, like the Eightfold Path and things like that, simply because that's really what convinced me. That's really like essentially like the Eightfold Path is something that is unlike any other religion. It's something that I can do. There's no Buddhist temple anywhere near me. I don't need a specific preacher telling me this and that. I don't need no specific scriptures or anything like that. Although we do have the sutras, um, it's just the idea is the Eightfold Path is the Eightfold Path, and the Four Noble Truths is the Four Noble Truths. And so I spent a lot of time talking about that and say, okay, well, what does that have to do with why I became a Buddhist? Although I did make some remarks on more specifically why I became a Buddhist, but very short video. Um, so it'd be like, okay, what does this have to do with that? And that's really what it is because essentially the Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, is something that when I studied that and understood that what it was really all about, that's really why I decided to become a Buddhist. And so it's essentially really it for me. So really we have finished the discussions on Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths, the detailed discussions on those. So I'm going to do one last short video, and then as I have time, I'm going to try to do some Dharma readings or something like that. But this is one last discussion on something I found within Buddhism that I really, really loved and want to share, is the Tara. So Tara, and that's Tara. In English, I don't really know. Like, it's the most common spelling I've seen anyway. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing it correctly or if the original language or anything like that. But Tara, Tara, is um, the only female Buddha that I know of. And different sects may describe her differently. I think some describe her as a bodhisattva, but the sects that I appreciate, as far as their description of Tara, is that she was the female Buddha. So we all know that Siddhartha Gautama was the Buddha that we follow that taught the Eightfold Path as far as that. But Tara um, is, and there were, little stories and stuff that come out mainly out of Tibetan Buddhism, but um, let's just call her like an extraterrestrial or something like that. She's from a different world. She was not from Earth. Um, Now, whether that was extraterrestrial, like in our universe on a different planet, or is that like in a different dimension, or maybe she never even existed. Maybe it's just a symbol for something beautiful. Either way, I don't know if she really existed or not. This is sort of like it's like a little necklace I love to wear sometimes. Um, and this has an image of the Tara, and so the idea is that she um, is was told by somebody that she had to reincarnate as a man in order to become a a Buddha, and that she would never become a Buddha or enlightened until she reincarnates as a man. She told them that only small-minded people thought like that she would become a Buddha as a woman, and that she would only take incarnations as a woman, and that she would be able to become a Buddha like that. So she reached enlightenment as a woman, And so it's just something I really liked. I don't know if she really exists or not. Not something that really bothers me. It's one of the things I like about Buddhism is it doesn't matter if we believe the person really existed. The stories at least symbolize something very beautiful. The stories came from Tibetan Buddhists who sat in meditation, and sometimes they'll believe that they see something that's like an akashic record, something from in the past that really happened, and they write it down. So, and this is particularly on a completely different plane and on a different world, not even on Earth. Did it really happen? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's something very beautiful that women can become Buddhas too.